Hi guys, first YouTube from my new house. Ooh, exciting. Won't always film in this room, but I haven't got my desk from home yet, so I can't film in the study. However, you can see this like nice bookcase behind, little cushion from IKEA this weekend, which I think is pretty divine. Although, put my phone down in IKEA, kind of was looking at lighting, talking about lamp shades, light shades, all kinds of things like that, and it was stolen in IKEA. So I literally, this weekend, have had no phone, hence me not Instagramming. It's horrible. And then on Sunday, wasn't very well, had to move my car off the street because of parking permits. And on driving onto, like, there's a ramp that kind of goes underneath the block of flats that we're in, I just scraped all my car on the ramp and the big bumper at the back has like come off. So after I film this, I have to skedaddle myself out to a garage. Oh. Anyway, you don't need to hear all about my problems, do you? No, you need some beauty advice. As you can see, I've got zero, nothing, nada on my face at the moment. So that means we're doing a little bit of a tutorial. This weekend my friends were round at the flat and we were kind of getting ready to go out, and I said to one of the girls, I said, oh, well, how are you going to do makeup? She was like, I don't really know, I don't really do makeup. I was like, well, let me do it. And I did a really simple look on her and on my boyfriend, and they were both like, oh, we didn't know how to do this. So I'm just going to kind of recreate that. Obviously, I'm not going to do the look that I did on her because she had eyeshadow on. I'm not going to put that on myself. But this is kind of a great tip and a great video in how to create a very natural looking glowy base. Okay, first up, I've cleansed and toned my face and I'm going to moisturise using this Earle day cream. I don't know if you watched my last video where I was in Germany and I forgot to pack my moisturiser and I had 3 hand creams. Ugh. I moisturised with the hand cream in the morning and it was horrendous. So I went out and I thought I'm going to just treat myself to a good moisturiser. This, it's an absolute corker. Everything, like my skin is really soft, makeup goes on top of it nicely, and do you know what, it smells so nice. It's enriched with very, plant extracts, Kelsa from Earle. Earle is a brand that's just known for like great products, naturally derived, and it's also formulated with vitamin E. Winner. So I'm just going to use that much on my face, rubbing it together and just working it into my skin. Okay, I'm just going to use a little bit more because that wasn't enough. But it dries, well, it absorbs into your skin really quickly. I hate moisturisers that kind of sit and take ages to sink in because, babes, if you're in a rush, you need to get that stuff on and then move on to round 2. Know what I'm saying? Classic jewels. I go to take the next product for step 2. Totally couldn't find it. Wasn't down here in my little stash. Nightmare. I'm using number 7 mattifying primer. I don't see the point in switching primers if you found an absolute corker. This is my favourite, and I'm only going to use this in my T-zone areas because it is mattifying. I'll put a little bit under my eyes, but not too much, because I still want the kind of dewiness from my skin to come through. You can apply this with a brush if you want, but I find applying it with my hands, I just find it easier with this because it is mattifying. I find that you've got to move quite quickly with it, and with a brush, you could literally just be messing about. And I'm just using my middle finger to pat it in around my eye area because you don't want to rub this area of your eyes because it's so thin. You don't want it to, if you imagine every day you're rubbing it, it's not going to do a lot for those wrinkles, is it, babes? I've just heard a digger outside. I thought I moved from my last flat to avoid noise issues. Doesn't bode well. No, it is a motorbike from outside. So basically outside you can see like these garages and a guy's just literally on his motorbike testing it and riding around. I think I have the worst luck with noise and filming. Now, time for concealer. I'm using an Old Faithful, which is Bobbi Brown in Cool Sand. I tend to not use that much of the powder on this side. The powders are there to set the concealer and stop it from kind of going into sometimes it can gather around your eye, which is a little bit annoying. So powders usually stop that. I find Bobbi Brown concealers, they are amazing, yet sometimes I think they're a bit thick for the eye area. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix a tiny bit of the Bobbi Brown concealer with some moisturiser on the back of my hand. Okay, so taking my nicely mixed concealer and moisturiser formula, I'm going to apply just using a foundation brush. I'm using this one from Cassie Lomas, who, Cassie Lomas is an amazing makeup artist. She actually trained me in makeup, so loving your brushes, babes. Now what I've done already is swept the concealer around my under eye and then down in a V shape like this. Because I've been travelling and moving house and unpacking and I was poorly, I think I look dreadful at the moment. So I'm going to take it up here and out a bit just to kind of give my face a bit of like natural looking contour, because otherwise I tend to find that it looks a bit dull. I really like concealer around my eyes because it lifts my overall appearance rather than making me look sallow. And then I'm just going to blend the outside with my fingers so that it all blends into the face and you don't have like lines of concealer mark. So there, you can see I've done one eye and not the other. I'm just going to do the other eye now. And then I'm not going to mix any concealer for this bit. I'm just going to put a tiny bit down the outsides of my nose. Because these areas of my face tend to hold a bit of shine and I just kind of want to clog it a bit. And then for my base, I'm going to use a tinted moisturiser rather than a foundation. Now, if you want to use foundations, maybe consider mixing them with a bit of moisturiser as well, because that will soften them down to give it kind of that tinted moisturiser look. And it also will give the skin a little bit of moisture and radiance. So if you're kind of after that dewy springtime look, definitely a wise move for you. Today I'm going to be using the Estee Lauder Day Wear. Now this is like a tinted moisturiser. It's green based, so if you suffer with redness, and this is very good for guys. In fact, one of my friends asked me recently, he was like, oh, my skin's really red, I don't know if I've had a reaction. I was like, babes, you're drinking too much. Don't lie to me. Stop drinking that much and your skin will go down a bit. However, because this is green based, it will counteract the redness in the face. Winner. And so the appearance of a heavy boozing sesh at the weekend will be minimised. So I'm just going to use about this much on my face. I find that this is the right amount to get a nice even coverage without being too heavy. If I want to add more, I can do. It's always better to add more than add too much all in the first go. And I'm going to be applying using a MAC 190 foundation brush. I like to kind of mix it together on my hands first. And I'm going to start at my brow, just work my way out and then work my way around the face. Now when you're applying with a foundation brush, and I was doing this wrong before I got trained in makeup, I was just kind of like going like painting it. Now what you need to do is like almost flick it across the face and then it'll go on much easier. You need very little pressure when you're putting a foundation brush on. All you're trying to do is apply it onto the skin and then really just kind of push it around. And then I'm going to come down the cheekbones. Now obviously I have got a beard. If for girls watching this, you just carry on as normal. For guys, if you have a slight beard or you've got a little bit of stubble, I'm going to use a dual fibre brush over the top to blend. So you can see I've done this half of my face and I just need to do this half of my face, but you can see the difference. Now it looks quite brown now. Now what it does, okay, so you can see I've done this side of my face and I've still got to apply the product on this side of the face. What this Estee Lauder Day Wear does is it goes on, it looks quite brown, it's matching to my skin, so it does actually go less brown. So don't be worried if you're putting it on and then be like, oh, I'm looking too brown. You're not, it will dull itself down. It's always funny the faces that you pull when you're doing makeup because you tend to go like that. Don't forget to go up and over your eyes as well, because it's a real giveaway when you've got anything with a bit of colour on when you blink, especially for guys. I mean, girls, if you're putting eyeshadow over the top, don't do it. But guys, just really come in and around, because when you blink and you've got that kind of backward panda eye, nicht good. Can you tell I've been in Germany? Or should I say Deutschland? I was on a shoot recently, and the makeup artist just put the foundation up and around my ear, and now I've just got into the habit of doing it. Whatever I'm putting on my face, I'm always like, oh, up and around my ear. I don't know if it makes any difference, but it's like a habit now. So I'm going to use a foundation brush and just brush it around my beard, and then I'm going to take a dual fibre brush and brush around like this, and that just buffs it off. So you can see it's gone on quite nicely. Now I've got this kind of radiance to my skin, which if you want that, crack on with it, because it is really nice. But for me, I don't know, I think I'm quite conscious about having really radiant skin, because I have oily skin anyway, so it's something that I'm always trying to hide. So I'm going to blot over the top of it. So I'm going to blot using my MAC medium blot powder. Now, I'm not even going to show you what it looks like, because I'm actually on my dregs of this. I Instagrammed a picture of it last week, and the makeup artist said that I need to get a little sample pot to kind of decant it into. So I have got a sample pot, but it's got hair wax in it at the moment, so I need to empty that, put this in. Palaver. And I'm going to apply the MAC blot powder using a MAC 130 brush. If you've never used this powder before, or if you're very new to kind of blot powders, they are brilliant, and they stop the shine throughout the day. Now, people actually think, oh, men don't wear makeup, they don't wear it on set. They do, and this blot powder is used on everyone, whether you're a guy or a girl. And this is from anything in TV to editorial to if you're doing campaigns. This product is used constantly in touch-ups to just stop shine and keep skin looking matte. It's also quite streamlined. So guys, it fits in your pocket very easily, and girls, whack it in that handbag. I'm just gonna tap the brush into the powder, mainly because I don't have a lot left. Flick it to get excess powder off, and I'm just gonna press it onto my skin rather than sweeping around. And I'm only pressing onto my skin around my T-zone areas. I quite like a little bit of radiance up at the tops, but just in the middle, I just kind of want to keep it at bay. Quick brush of the brows. This is a Cassie Lomas brow comb, but you can use a mascara wand if you want, like obviously not with mascara on it. But just give them a little brush, just to neaten them up. And my hair, I've obviously blow dried it back this morning. I've put in a bit of the Matte and Messy wax that I used in a previous video, and I'm just going to spray using Got To Be by Schwarzkopf. Just on the quiff, nice and lightly, just to kind of hold it in place. Maybe a little bit around the side. And there you go, my simple and easy to follow step-by-step in how to get a great natural tanned makeup. And when I do this, I get quite a lot of comments on how flawless my skin looks. I think it's quite nice if you're going to wear makeup, especially in the week, to go with a natural look. And if no one's commenting, I mean, even I'm looking at myself now, I think this looks really nice and natural. Obviously, if you like wearing a full face, go for it. Whatever makes you happy as an individual. I'm all about happiness, guys. But yeah, hopefully you found this video interesting. If you want to check out any more information on me, my Instagram is @JulesVonHep, and my Twitter is @JulesVonHep as well. Or if you want to go to my blog, it's julesheptonstore.com. Give me a thumbs up, any comments in the box below, always appreciated. And if you like me, subscribe.